So a lot of you are asking what happens next for convicted felon Donald Trump. And while no one knows for sure what will happen after that sentencing hearing in July, there are a few things that we do know. So we do know that between now and July 11th, Trump is essentially released on his own recognizance. But one thing he will have to do between now and that sentencing hearing is he has to meet with the probation officer who is going to interview him and then file something called a pre-sentencing report to the judge, and the judge will take that report into consideration when he's figuring out how he wants to sentence convicted felon Donald Trump. The prosecution is also going to let the judge know what they think about how Donald Trump should be sentenced, and then the defense will respond to what the prosecution says, and the judge has to consider all of that. He's also going to consider Trump's behavior during the trial, like the fact that he violated his gag order 10 times. On the other hand, Trump is a first-time offender and it's a non-violent offense, but on the other hand, he interfered with the presidential election and likely affected the outcome. Huge. So if anyone tells you at this point that they know for sure that Trump will or will not serve prison time, they're lying to you, because the truth is nobody knows. This is such an unprecedented situation. A former president has been convicted of 34 felony counts. We have not even had a former president charged with a crime. This is a first, and nobody knows what's going to happen next. Trump could see some time behind bars. I believe the maximum sentence for this crime is 4 years, but it is unlikely he would get anywhere near that amount of time. The judge could also sentence him to weekends in jail, where during the week he's free to go and campaign. That's a real possibility. The judge has a lot of leeway here. But the judge could go lots of other directions. He could just fine Trump. He could fine Trump and give him community service. Imagine Trump in an orange jumpsuit on the side of a freeway picking up old chip bags, because let me tell you, I'm imagining it. Trump could very well get just probation, and before we say, oh, just probation, that's nothing, it's actually not nothing, and especially in Trump's case, and here's why. First of all, he would have to limit his movements. He would have to check in regularly in person with a probation officer, which you know Trump will just hate. But not only that, when you're on probation, and I looked this up, you can't communicate with anyone who you know is engaged in criminal activity. You also can't communicate with or engage with anybody who has been convicted of a felony, like it's a violation of your probation. He's basically not going to be able to communicate with anybody he likes or that helps him or that works with him or anyone in his circle, because they're all crooks. Another ironic thing, Trump will be considered in violation of probation if he lies to his probation officer. He's not going to be able to not lie. That's all he does. So the point is, Trump could start out with a relatively mild sentence and still manage to screw it up and end up behind bars. And regardless of what he gets, he'll deserve it, because he broke the law and no one is above the law, not even him.